With your permission, Your Excellency, this meeting has been supported by very many partners. It will be difficult for me to recognize all of them and afford them an opportunity to speak, but allow me, Your Excellency, just to mention some who gave contributions that have enabled us to host this event at the prestigious JW Marriott. I'm sure Governor Sakaja is very happy, and my chair, because my chair was very much on my case. Buluma, we need to find the finest of them all. So, Your Excellency, among the partners who supported us, we have Siasa Place. I would request Nerima to just stand. That is the Executive Director of Siasa Place. We have a leading young program that was started in the last Parliament that is spearheaded by Bishop Anduvate from ICC. Don't know whether he's still around. Right at the back. Your Excellency, we have Mzalendo Trust, led by Caroline Gaita. Your Excellency, we also tapped on the resources from the private sector, and we were supported by one Dr. Nyamu from Komarok Modern. Dr. Nyamu. And finally, Oslo Center, led by Phoebe Mungai. And of course, from government side, we were supported by Huduma Center. I don't know if the CEO is still present. Thank you. Your Excellency, there are many other partners who include embassies. We have embassies that have been represented, including the Slovak Embassy, Embassy of Qatar, Embassy of Poland, Embassy of Switzerland, Canadian Embassy, and many other organizations that it will be difficult for me to mention all of them. But with your permission, Your Excellency, allow me to just extend 2 minutes to one of our main partners, the Platinum, who will come and just give short remarks before I invite the chairman. Dr. Annette, please.
His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, Speakers of the National Assembly and Senate, Honorable Moses Wetangula and Honorable Emerson Jeffer Kinji, Wiper Party Leader, Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, KYPA leadership led by Honorable Githonga Mkunji, representatives of the diplomatic missions, distinguished partners, esteemed members of the Kenya Young Parliamentarians Association, honorable guests. All protocol observed, good evening. It's with a great pride and immense gratitude that I stand before you today on this numerous occasion as we launch the 4th strategic plan of the KYPA, Kenya Young Parliamentarians Association, and celebrate their 20th anniversary. Over the past 2 decades, KYPA has been a beacon of youth empowerment, advocacy, and legislative excellence. This milestone is a testament to the unwavering dedication, hard work, and commitment of many individuals and organizations who believe in and supported KYPA's mission. The Konrad Adenauer Foundation is privileged to have been part of this journey from the inception of this plan to its development, validation, and finally its launch. I commend Kenya Young Parliamentarians Association for playing a key role in midwifing legislation and program targeting Kenyans, especially young people. This perfectly aligns with our Conrad's program on youth and women empowerment, which we have instead in partnership with political parties over the last 51 years of Conrad's, as you name it, normally presence in Kenya. In November 2023, Konrad Adenauer Foundation held an international conference in Nairobi dubbed Transforming a Nation. During the conference, we invited members of KYPA who participated actively. KYPA's chairperson, Honorable Githonga, read the resolutions of the Transforming a Nation conference last November. The publication will come out next days. Working alongside KYPA, the strategic plan has been profoundly enriching and fulfilling. Together, we have combined our insights with the immense dedication of KYPA's leadership and members, ensuring that this strategic vision is robust and aligned with their goals for the next 5 years. This collaboration exemplifies the power of partnership and its impact on shaping the future of youth leadership in Kenya. Today, as we unveil KYPA's 4th strategic plan for 2024 to 2029, we are not just launching a document, we are setting a course for the future. This strategic plan is the culmination of a comprehensive and inclusive process reflecting the aspiration and contributions of KYPA's members, partners, and stakeholders. It outlines their vision, mission, and strategic goals, aiming to enhance capabilities in legislative and policy-making areas, broaden legislative awareness, strengthen advocacy and lobbying capacities, and proper youth-centric legislative initiatives. This strategic plan will be significant in shaping the operations of KYPA, serving as their roadmap, guiding them towards increased effectiveness and impact. By focusing on key areas such as climate change, inclusivity, and public participation, KYPA aims to deepen their engagement in public policy discussions and ensure that the voices of young people are heard and considered in the legislative process. This is not just about the next 5 years. It is about laying the foundation for more inclusive, empowered, and progress Kenya. The rule of youth in government stands at the cornerstone of our nation's progress. With their fresh perspectives, innovative solutions, and boundless energy, young people inject vitality into the legislative process. They are not merely the leaders of tomorrow, they are today's leaders. As young parliamentarians, you possess a rare opportunity and profound privilege to sculpt the nation's destiny. Your active involvement in government guarantees that the politics will be inclusive, forward-looking, and attend to the diverse needs of our society. Yet with this privilege comes a significant responsibility. Young parliamentarians stand at the forefront of change, entrusted with the task of advocating for the interest of not only their constituents, but to broader population. You are the guardians of integrity, transparency, and accountability in governance. So together, let us embrace this responsibility with unwavering dedication, knowing that our collective efforts today will pave the way for a future where young people are not only participants, but also key drivers of national development and consequently shape the course of Kenya's future. As we commemorate this significant milestone, let us reflect our achievements and renew our commitment to our mission. Let us continue to work together, leveraging our strengths and partnerships to drive meaningful change. This journey ahead is filled with opportunity, and I'm confident that with this strategic plan as our guide, KYPA will achieve even greater heights. I would like to once again congratulate KYPA for this remarkable achievement and thank everyone who has contributed to making this day possible. Let this strategic plan serve as a rallying call for all young parliamentarians to lead by example, advocate for positive change, and tireless work towards the betterment of this great nation. And let us embrace this moment with pride and determination, knowing that the future of Kenya is bright. Together we can make a difference. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Annette. She has spoken on behalf of the many partners that are present. Your Excellency, as I invite the chair, I've seen a wink from Senator Ezena and Honorable Kimayo, reminding me to tell you and Governor Sakaja to update your membership. It is due. And it is now my pleasure to invite the Honorable Gitonga Mukunji to give his address. Please, let's appreciate him. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency, the Governor of the City of Nairobi, Your Excellency, Your Honor, the Speaker of the National Assembly, all distinguished guests, our Majority Leader and Minority Leader, Members of Parliament, donors, and stakeholders, good evening, everyone. Your Excellency, let me first say that it's a big honor to host you today. And for the new people who don't know me, my name is Gitonga Mukonji. I am the Member of Parliament of Manyata constituency in Embu, and also I'm the Chairman, Kenya Young Parliamentarians. And Your Excellency, today marks a milestone for this organization that I took over just a few months ago, because today we are fast celebrating 20 years since this organization was made. And Your Excellency, what a good way to celebrate 20 years, but by renewing our commitment to the young people through putting agendas in place under our strategic plan for years 2024 to 2029. And Your Excellency, this is one of those very unique caucuses in the National Assembly, because Your Excellency, this is first a very much bipartisan organization that cuts across political parties. When we meet, we don't speak about political lines. We speak about the issues that are affecting our young people and also affecting our young members of Parliament. Your Excellency, it is the best way we can be able to unite this country by forgetting those things that divide us, but remembering those things that bring us together. Your Excellency, we have seen the journey that this organization has gotten since the inception 20 years ago. We are happy to have produced leaders, and this shows the empowerment and mentorship that has happened under the umbrella of KYPA. We have the Governor of Nairobi today being the former chairman of KYPA. Please clap for our Governor. He set the bar too high, and we are following in that footstep. Your Excellency, I'm one of the people who study your speeches seriously. And I saw one of your speeches when you were quite young, and you are telling a rally somewhere that wazee wamekuwa wakisema wako na vijana. Sasa vijana ndio wakati ya kusema wako na wazee. And I found that quite appealing to the young members that we have. But Your Excellency, we are here today because we want to set the bar higher. Your Excellency, we cannot be talking of young leaders without that visibility that young leaders deserve. It is obvious that many young members who are in this National Assembly and the Senate will tell you that we are normally intimidated a little bit by what we call ranking members. And Your Excellency, we normally have to come together and be able to push our agendas, especially through my good friend, the Majority Leader and the Minority Leader. And Your Excellency, it is by that actually we ensure that we get a voice in the National Assembly and the Senate. Your Excellency, one of the things that we are looking upon is your support. And Your Excellency, you have a lot that you have done for young people. I want to first appreciate you because you have shown tremendous respect and trust to young leaders of this country. I really don't have to mention names, but from the State House to the National Assembly to even your government, we have seen you have given chance to the young people of this country. And we appreciate that. But we normally say that is not enough. We need more. We need you in your advisors to put an advisor of young people in your team of your advisors so that we can be speaking and pushing things of the young people of this country. Your Excellency, we also want you and we request you, whenever you're going abroad, I saw you going to the US, we need a representation of the young leaders who are here today in that delegation every time. And it is not only because of actually pushing the agenda that you have, but also learning on how these things are done. Your Excellency, many of the young members who are here actually have a lot of bills and motions that they would like to see pass in the National Assembly. And just to mention a few, Your Excellency, after interaction with these members, there is a bill they are pushing for what we are calling digital labor bill, so that while you're pushing for matters to do with digital employment for our young people, it can also be humane and it can also be fair to our young people in terms of payment. We request your government, because I know whenever there's a government bill in the National Assembly and the Senate, it passes like wind. And we would like to have that being supported. Others, we have the startup bill, Your Excellency, by Honorable Rene. And Honorable, Your Excellency, we have amendments by Honorable Gasheri on health bill. These are bills that are pertinent to what we are doing as young people and for our young people in this country. We request, whenever we call upon your support and your government to push for this bill, Your Excellency, we get that support. We have also others like the local produce consumption bill, which actually highlights that we need to consume what we produce more. And those are bills that are going to change even the perspective of our young people, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, because I don't want to speak much, first, I would like to say that we are looking upon for your continuous mentorship. The conversation around young leaders and their ambitions, Your Excellency, is a conversation that you have always had, and we have heard you mention about it a number of times. I would like you to take this organization as one of your kids, so that, Your Excellency, even the resources that we struggle to get, and sometimes, Your Excellency, tunakuomanga sana. Mimi nitakuomba utukamate ndio tuweze kufanya zile vitu tunafaa kufanya kwa wale watu ambao tungetaka kusaidia. Your Excellency, as I conclude, I also want to appreciate the Speaker of the National Assembly and the leadership of the houses. Without a doubt, we have always gone for counsel to these leaders. The Speaker has always held our hand. He has given us immense support. Even today, Your Excellency, I wonder why the CEO did not say that, but the National Assembly has supported this event. Please clap for our Speaker. And in conclusion, Your Excellency, I would like a few of a representation of these members to just say something small in very little time, because we have a very strict timeline given by His Excellency. I would like, if I just call your name, please. I want to call 3 people maximum, but I would like it to be not more than 1 minute. I will start with the Senate. There is a conspiracy that one of our youth members is Oburu Odinga, but he is not here today. But Your Excellency, we have Honorable Medhu, one of the youngest senator that we have in the Senate. Please, Medhu, 1 minute. Then we also have Senator Le Maletian Hezena. 1 minute kindly. 1 minute.
Thank you very much, Chairman, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, all the members present. Your Excellency, it is fair that I actually set record straight. It is not that I'm one of the youngest in the Senate, it is that I am the youngest. It is fair that we set that record straight. Your Excellency, in the 1 minute that I've been given, want to appreciate you and your deputy for offering and being very deliberate in mentoring those of us who have been elected young. From the Senate, Your Excellency, and I give the apologies of the members of the Senate who are not here because we were out of town with our Speaker. But you have been deliberate. You have given us one of the youngest majority leaders in the Republic of Kenya to ever exist, Honorable Aaron Cheriot, who is a member and a paying member of the KYPA, and many other members who are chairmen of committees, including my own self. Your Excellency, sir, it would be catastrophic if you chose otherwise. From history, we can predict the future. In a long time ago, before I was born, Jomo Kenyatta became the Secretary of COW at the age of 31. In 1955, Daniel Moi left teaching and became the member of the Regico at the age of 31. In 1960, Mwai Kibaki left Makerere University as a lecturer to come and become the executive officer of KANU. In 1997, Uhuru Kenyatta left whatever he was doing and became ran for member of parliament for Gatundu South, although he didn't win. In 1997, William Ruto left whatever he was doing, ran for office, and became member of parliament. It is these 5 young members of parliament who are paying members of KYPA who went on to become the presidents of this great republic. It is then this that we can use then to predict that the future of this republic is seated in this particular hall that you are seeing, Your Excellency. The presidents that are coming are seated just here. The ministers that are coming are seated in this particular room, Your Excellency. If then you do not mentor them, if we do not get a better William Ruto, if we ever find ourselves in the kind of economy that we found in ourselves, if we didn't get a bright leader like William Ruto, where would our country have gone to? So you have a responsibility, before God and before men, to continue mentoring us. And the mentorship must be across board. It must be within your party, and more importantly, even to those who are not members of our party. Why? Because the friends of today are not the friends of tomorrow. And neither are the enemies of today the enemies of tomorrow. It is tomorrow that I will take Babu Owino to be my running mate, and we shall form government together, and we are not members of the same party today. So, Your Excellency, even as we ask you to continue taking members from other delegations, take members from ODM, go with them. Take members from WIPA, go with them. Because KYPA, tomorrow, we shall be other different people, and we shall form other new alliances. Thank you very much. Asanteni sana, and God bless you.
Makofi yake Medhu, Ezena, 1 minute, please.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto, Your Excellency, the Deputy President of Kenya, Dr. Rigathi Gachagua, Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, all protocol observed. Asanteni. I'm so happy to be here today. I am Senator Ezena Le Maletian, the youth representative in the Senate of the Republic of Kenya. And Your Excellency, I'm also the treasurer of the Kenya Young Parliamentarians. That is why I take this honor today to stand before all of you. And just to assure you, I have no record of stealing anything. I have a good record being a treasurer for the most part of my life. I don't know why I'm usually chosen or elected as the treasurer, but I want to assure you that whatever resources you put in the hands of our esteemed youth network, the Kenya Young Parliamentarians Association, they will be very safe and very well utilized. Not only that, I am a very strong Pan-African, and I know that you cannot discuss about the future and prosperity of this continent without prioritizing the empowerment and right positioning of the young people. And when we say we are representing the youth as KYPA, we are representing the majority constituency, not just across the continent, but globally. So like I tend to say, when you take care of the interests of the youth, Your Excellency, you'll be taking care of the interest of the majority of your country's population. And I thank each one of you for your committed labor. May God bless you. Na tafadhali mchangamke. Make sure you contribute to support the young people so that we are rigorously empowered and inspired to continue carrying out the good precedents that has been set by His Excellency, the President and the Governor of the capital city, and all the people who have come before us. Asanteni sana, and God bless you.
Very good. I would like also to recognize members from the National Assembly. I'm sorry members will not be able to speak, all of us. But first, we have birthed, Your Excellency, KYPA, also birthed KYMCA. Mpo, I would like the young MCAs to please stand up, and please let's recognize them with a warm clap. Your Excellency, even recently we also birthed our young members in the East Africa community. They formed their own caucus that is touching on East Africa countries, and on their behalf I would like to call Honorable Maina Karofia for half a minute, because if I don't do that, I know he will lynch. For half a minute, Honorable Karofia. Clap for him as say something.
Yes, thank you for the half a minute. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Rigathi Gachagua, the Right Honorable Speaker Moses Wetangula, and the Governor of Nairobi, Johnson Sakaja, members of Parliament and Senators. Good evening. Mungu ni mwema na kila wakati. Your Excellency, receive the greetings of your friend, the Right Honorable Speaker of the East Africa Legislative Assembly. He sent me your greetings, and he really appreciates the representation that you gave the African continent during your visit to the United States. The African continent and the East African Legislative Assembly fully recognizes the efforts that you put forward in your visit. Your Excellency, majority of us here, in fact, all of us here, have passed through the hands of the top 5 leaders of our country. Myself, I'm a beneficiary of your guidance and your mentorship, together with your deputy. And Your Excellency, just as the way members of Parliament and the earlier speakers have said, we are very ready to be mentored. It is one thing to give people opportunities, it is another to guide them. Your Excellency, through your government, I want to say that 2.6 million young people of our republic have benefited with 18 billion through the Youth Development Fund. Your Excellency, when I was talking with the CEO of that particular parastatal, he was decrying, or he was appreciating the fact that you have given them the support. You have even invited him during the state agencies, chief executive officers, and he really gave you a proposal of how you can work together. Your Excellency, the 2.6 million youths in this republic who have benefited from that particular fund can give a testament of the bottom-up approach that your government espouses. Your Excellency, as East Africa, we are organizing a symposium on the issues of artificial intelligence in July, and we want to appreciate you as a head of state in the summit for your continued support that we are receiving from the summit. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.
Please clap for Mheshimiwa Maina Karofia. Your Excellency, we have a big team of young leaders here from the National Assembly and the Senate, and it would not be fair if I don't tell them to kindly stand and humbly request them to actually just stand for identification. All the young members of Parliament, please kindly stand so that we can recognize you. Waguje? Wapigiwe makofi tafadhali because of time. And Your Excellency, just to recognize, in the leadership we have Joseph Lelmengit, who leads a very passionate cause of climate change. Please clap for him. We have Honorable Basil, that is our Vice Chair. Please clap for him. We have Honorable Esi Okinyuri, Honorable Renee Mayaka. Is he around? Is she around? Please clap for her. We have Honorable Njeri Maina. Please clap for her. We have a big team that help us continue running this organization. You know, Your Excellency, as I conclude, and I call the Senate Majority Leader, I would like to say that, Your Excellency, we are very, very, very keen on what you're doing with the young people of this country. And one of the things that we call upon is the issue of the people who have gone through school and not been able to get a job, and they still have the help money. We would request you as young members to waive that interest for that loan so that young members can know that you're still with them. Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm guided to call our friend Kimani Ichung'wah, the Majority Leader of the National Assembly, so that he can call the Governor and the Speaker so that we can be able to finalize very quickly. Clap for him as he comes to address him. Asante sana.
Thank you, Chairman. Your Excellency, the President, all protocols observed. Your Excellency, yes, I'm aware of time, Your Excellency, and I'll be very quick in less than a minute, just to appreciate, Your Excellency, that we have the Leader of Majority in the Senate, who is also a young parliamentarian. Myself and the Leader of Minority, Honorable Pio Wandai, we have now transcended the age group of young men. We are now older in the National Assembly, and we have him in the House. Your Excellency, I will not repeat what has been said, but just to appeal to you to continue supporting the Kenya Young Parliamentarians Association. Yourself, Your Excellency, you joined Parliament as a young member back in the days, and you remember your days in Youth for KANU 92, and you have grown to the position of President of the Republic of Kenya. I want to agree with Honorable Mukunji. The future presidents of this country, Your Excellency, are indeed in this room. That I can confirm for a fact. Your Excellency, the founding chair, or the chair that who was my chair of KYPA, who I'll be inviting here, the Honorable Governor for Nairobi, joined Parliament as a young member of Parliament, and we joined at the same time back in 2013. And he grew to become from a nominated member of Parliament to the Senator for Nairobi, and is now the Governor of our great city of Nairobi. Your Excellency, would only appeal to you to continue mentoring us as young leaders, continue mentoring many of these young leaders, as the Chair has said, and the CEO, that this association of young parliamentarians transcends not just our party lines and our party divide, but this, as young leaders, their leadership in this organization transcends even their regional and ethnic backgrounds, because that is the future of our country, Your Excellency, and we want to appeal to you to continue mentoring them so that we may have a country that is united, transcending not just our party lines, but also our regional and ethnic lines. With those few remarks, allow me the honor to invite past chair of the KYPA and now Governor of the great city of Nairobi, Governor Sakaja.
Thank you so much, Leader of Majority, Your Excellency, our President, and all the leaders, Deputy President, Speaker, Members of Parliament. It's really amazing to see this entire group that has gathered today to celebrate two things: the strategic plan of KYPA as well as 20-year anniversary. Margaret Mead once said that never doubt that a small group of people, of thoughtful, committed citizens, can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. I'm immensely proud of Kenya Young Parliamentarians Association. Your Excellency, I have chaired this association for 10 years, from 2013 to 2023. When we got in, the cutoff age was 35. And I became a member of parliament at age 28. When I was an MP, we got together with the late Ken Okoth, who was our treasurer, David Ochieng, Kawaya was my vice chair, Honorable Zuleha, and we said, let's create a caucus, or rather, let's revive a caucus that you had started in your time with Cecily Mbarire, Njoki Ndung'u, Kabando Wakabando, Sami Wea. It was not an easy time, Your Excellency, because the young people had a lot of challenges in parliament. It was the largest number of young people elected that time. We were 50 below the age of 35. I was also the chair that time of the Committee on Cohesion, and it was a joint committee. I was chairing very old people. You know, General Nkaiseri, the late Oteno Kajwang, Chris Obure, and they would wonder, what is this young person going to tell me? How can this person be a leader? And that time I was also chair of the ruling party. And you can imagine someone like Senator Haji, a member of TNA, was older than my father. But I was inspired by the words of the Bible in 1 Timothy 4:12 that says, and it's relevant today as it was that time, do not let anyone look down upon you because you are young, but set an example to the believers in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity. I want to encourage the young members of parliament here. Let no one look down upon you because you are young. Set an example. And I think that example has given us great products in KYPA. Your Excellency, Mheshimiwa Methu has given us an example. At every turn, when our country needed to move to the next level, it is the young people of this country who played a part. In the 50s, going into the 60s, it was the tomboyers. Tomboya in his 20s. If you look at the history of our country, the Littleton Constitution, the Lennox Boyd Settlement, up until Lancaster, he was in his 20s. He would command respect in London. He would stay at the Piccadilly, while the old wazers like Jaramogi and the rest would be put in a dormitory. That was Tomboya. Mwai Kibaki became executive director of KANU at 32. You know, the next generation that needed to take us to the next level, multipartism, they were young people. It was the Orengos. You know, that time, Your Excellency, you were on the other side, but you played a role in YK 92 with the Jirongos. That generation also played their part. I want to tell you, there is nothing more powerful than a generation that is in tune with its season and its cause and knows why it is there to exist. If we come together as young people, we can change this country. And at this time, our country needs empowerment economically and to unify our country, that we can look beyond tribes, we can look beyond where you came from, because that hunger of Mama Njeri in Nyeri is the same as Mama Kinyi in Kisumu. It is these young people who are going to unite the country, Kenya. So be confident, Waheshimiwa. I am available to support you. You have the president, our mentor, and Your Excellency, is true. I found your contribution in 2013. Ilikuwa bado iko hapo kwa account ambayo tulifungua. We institutionalized KYPA. I want us to clap for Tony Buluma. This young man, when he came to me, he had just failed as an MCA in Komarok, I think. He was very thin. He was walking. Today he drives a Prado and is a CEO of the highest funded caucus in the Parliament of the Republic of Kenya. KYPA gets the highest support in Kenya. Your Excellency, the only thing I'm going to add as well, to encourage our members of Parliament, please come together when it comes to legislation. In our time, we passed the 30% procurement rule for youth. women and persons with disability. We passed the National Employment Authority Act that created that institution. We passed amendments to the HELB Act. We legislated for young people. But what I want to advise the chairman of KYPA, my successor, the mistake, please don't stand, please. The mistake you would make, we made a conscious decision in 2013 that in KYPA, we would never discuss politics. That is why KYPA exists to date. We saw other caucuses. I remember that time KWOPA, they could not even meet because they took sides politically. The issues of young people do not know political sides. And let me tell you, Mheshimiwa Mukunji, a young person in Embu has more in common with a young person in Kisumu than he has with his father in Embu. The young people of this country, we have more that unite us than what divides us. So I would urge you, please, never allow the political discussion to come within KYPA. Focus on issues of young people. That time my Secretary General was David Ochieng, ODM. My Vice Chair was Kawaya of WIPA. Ken Okoth was the Treasury from ODM. We had mixed each other. We had TNA, we had URP. And I think that is the situation that you have as well today. Finally, Your Excellency, young people of Kenya are ready to lead. And they're able to lead. Trust us with the leadership. We want to see more young people around you. In our time, we set up what we called reference groups. Mheshimiwa Keter there was part of a reference group, and after that he became a member of parliament. Your Excellency, today I'm told they have pushed the age of KYPA to 40 because our time it was 35, which means I am still a member of KYPA. I'm going to start the KYGA, Kenya Young Governors Association. I don't think we're very many, but we shall start that. But I want to contribute, Bwana Chairman, to your kitty. For your activities, I will give you 2 million shillings. I'm sure I can, together with my friends, to support the activities that you're doing. But young people are ready to lead. And I'm happy to announce today, you know, Nairobi, if Nairobi was a country, it would be the 20th richest country in Africa, Your Excellency. The GDP of Nairobi is 28 billion. The GDP of Rwanda is $11 billion. We are more than twice Rwanda. I am proud today, and I'm sure the young people of Kenya are proud today, because we've hit the record of the highest revenue collected by a county government since God made Kenya of 12 billion shillings, and it is done by a young person. I think that's something we should be proud of. So young people, especially those who are nominated, where you are is not the end of your journey. Do not despise humble beginnings. Dream big, be ambitious, and let no one pour water on your ambition. Tomorrow you can be a governor, you can be a president, you can be leader of majority like Ishungwa or like Aaron Cheriot. You can be anything that you want to be, because the world belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. And Kenya is young. Our median age is 19. In the 2009 census, Your Excellency, I think 2019 census, only 9% of Kenyans were above age 50. Only 9%. 91% of Kenyans were below 50. Those of you above age 50, you should actually know each other, because you are so few. If the young people decide to rise up, we can actually change our country. Thank you so much. Congratulations, KYPA, on your 20th anniversary. We're always here to support you. It is now my honor and privilege to invite my distinguished Kotsa, my uncle, our speaker, who is the longest serving member of parliament, continuous from 1993 when I was in class 2. Mheshimiwa Wetangula, tumpigieni makofi.
Thank you. Thank you, Governor. Your Excellency, our President, our Deputy President, all protocols as established followed. I'm here on the invitation of the Chairman of KYPA, and I salute young people of this country. I came to Parliament when I was eligible to be a member. I outgrew it, and I'm still here. Allow me to acknowledge the young people in our Parliament who do tremendous work. Kimani Ichung'wah, I still consider you a very young person, a majority leader. Aaron Cheriot, majority leader in the Senate. Chief Whip Osoro, you are a young person, chairman of committees, and I want to single out, Your Excellency, two young people that are doing a tremendous job. Ndindi Nyoro, the chairman of budget, and Kuria Kimani, the member for Molo, the chairman of finance. Brilliant young people. You listen to them and you see we have a future for this country. So as young people, I'm told you are from IALA, from the Senate, the National Assembly, and our county assemblies. Don't be told the future is yours. Your future starts today. The space you occupy, you must use it fully to help change this country. All of us as members of our country must pick a leaf from our Savior Jesus Christ. He lived and worked actively for only 3 years, and he was murdered at the age of 33. And today, the name Jesus makes every knee bend. 3 years only. So it's not how long you lived, but how much you did in your life that matters. As Parliament, I have told you, Chairman, we will support you in every way we can. Now that the Bunge Tower is open, we are going to renovate Continental House. I'll avail you sufficient space to have your offices there so that you can be able to operate within the precincts of Parliament. The Parliamentary Square is now looking good. You can do your meetings wherever you wish. And as Parliament, we'll continue supporting you. What I finish with is that young people, this is your country. This country belongs to everybody. Don't be hoodwinked into any ethnic definitions and cocoons that can undermine our country. When you sit here today as a Kenyan and you hear somebody has been shot in Mandera, you feel the pain of that person because he's a fellow Kenyan. If you are told a typhoon has swept the Philippines, you will flip the newspaper and read on because you don't have that personal touch and affinity. Let's be each other's keeper. Let's be patriotic. Let's love our country. And above all, young people, focus on what brings this country together. Focus on what grows our economy. In Parliament, in your county assemblies, in IALA, and everywhere. Let me finish by also telling you that when you listen to BBC, you listen to any international media houses, our president is defined as a young president in Africa. Certainly, Mr. President, when you stand next to Mzee Museveni, Mzee Kakame, the president of Nigeria, the president of Eritrea, and many others, you still look like KYPA. And together we shall mentor these young people, we shall walk with you, and we shall show you the ropes of how to live longer in this space. It's now my duty to invite the Deputy President to come and make his remarks and invite the President.
Your Excellency, our President, Dr. William Ruto, Right Honorable Speaker, the National Assembly, the leadership of the House, honorable members, good evening. It's a joy for me to be in the same room with our young legislators. When I was informed that the President would be here tonight, I was very happy to join him, because when I was in Form 3, and I was a student in biology, there were two processes, one called diffusion, another one called osmosis. The movement of molecules from low concentration to high concentration. When you get an opportunity to sit with young people, you feel more youthful. And number two, I think it's good you have heard Muhesh here calling me a doctor. I think it's because I sit near Dr. William Ruto all the time. But I think with our new administration policy on recognition of prior learning, Your Excellency, you may consider to give direction that I be, without going through the education, I be awarded a doctorate, as Muhesh has said. Mine is very simple this evening. I may not be able to do much mentorship myself on matters leadership. Maybe when I come to your constituency, I'll put a good word to the women because they normally listen to me and say you're a good person. I think the person to do the mentoring tonight is here. And I would have loved if we had given him more time. You know, myself, I've mentored a few leaders here, not on leadership. Some of you have come to me when they have challenges in their marriages. I talk to them and they settle down. Others want mentorship on how to quit drinking and become sober. Having been a serious drunkard and being a sober person, I can mentor you that line. My role this evening is very simple, is to introduce the keynote speaker, Dr. William Ruto, who was elected as Member of Parliament for Eldoret North at the age of 31. He became an assistant minister at the office of the President in charge of internal security at the age of 33. At the age of 35, he became the Minister for Home Affairs. Later on, he had a very good stint as Minister for Agriculture and a very impactful stay at the Ministry of Higher Education. And it is his stewardship of that ministry that today, the TVET program that we celebrate. At the age of 46, under the new constitution, he became the first deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. And at the age of 55, he put up one of the strongest fights in presidential elections since the advent of multipartyism, and at the age of 56 was elected as the president of the Republic of Kenya. So in matters leadership, I don't think you could have a better keynote speaker. It is therefore would be responsible on my part to continue speaking because you need to hear from him. Let us be upstanding and welcome our keynote speaker, Dr. William Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya. Mr. President.
Asante sana. I think that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You can give me the mic. I can hold it. Please, let's take our seats. Asanteni sana. Mr. Deputy President, the Honorable Speaker, Governor of Nairobi, the Chair of KYPA, the leaders of majority, honorable members, members of KYPA, good evening. Hamjambo. Bwana asifiwe. God is good. Now, I didn't get the memo on how to dress. So I blame my good friend Mukunji when he asked me to come and be part of this occasion. I had informed him that I will be on my way to the airport, and he told me, there is no problem, Mr. President, this is good, just come. Now, I don't want to look disrespectful to this August gathering, because as a former member of KYPA, I take this organization very seriously. As has been said, when I was first elected member of parliament in 1997, Kasheri ulikuwa darasa la ngapi? She was 2 years old.
So in 1997, when I was first elected at the age of 31, Parliament those days was a parliament of very old people. And young people were very rare. I think we were about 6 or 7 that were below 35. So we tried to come up with KYPA, but it was not effective because it was a bit, but eventually other members led by Sakaja came and took over, and they formed a formidable organization that today we celebrate KYPA, a very resourceful group of leaders. Congratulations to all of you for what you're doing as young leaders in the Republic of Kenya. The time I have between now and 9:30 is very brief. And I would really want to have a conversation with you, members of KYPA, because you influence the present and you are the future. And I really want to have a very candid conversation with you as a leader in Kenya. And I'm very happy that this organization is bipartisan, that it cuts across parties. And that is how we had conceptualized it. It was supposed to be that way. And it was supposed to be about members of parliament who are young, how they can be better leaders. And because I have gathered some experience along the way, and I know a few things about leadership, I would really want to share those things with you, given an opportunity. And if you agree, Bwana Chairman, allow me to ask that maybe today we launch the strategic plan, and then we get another occasion when we can have a conversation. And I am not looking for a formal conversation, no. I am looking for an informal conversation so that I can help you, I can, give you insights on my experience and my belief that this country is a really great country. And we can make it greater together. So let me just say 2 or 3 things. Is it acceptable to you, Mr. Chairman, that we do another meeting? Yeah? Do you agree that we have another session? And since I heard that you wanted a very nice place, I can organize a nice place. Then we can, we can sit probably in the evening around a fire, and I can tell you a few things. Let me just say 3 things. Number 1, leadership is sacred. It is godly. It is serious. So don't take it lightly. I see many leaders who are elected, they come into office, or they are nominated for that matter. They come into office, and they think it's a joke. They don't take it seriously. And in due time, you suffer the consequences of not taking your job seriously. I have told you, leadership is serious, leadership is sacred, it is godly. Nobody becomes a leader by default or by mistake. All of us are elected because the good book says it is God who decides leaders. So you must take leadership seriously. Because leadership is serious, and leadership determines the future of nations. Successful nations are made successful by leaders. Great nations are made great by leaders. Retrogressive, poor nations are made poor by leaders. That's it. So, if we end up with a nation that is not progressive, don't look for anybody to ask. We should ask ourselves as leaders. So, we must take it seriously. Parliament is called the August House. It's the most important platform. It's a premium platform. It is a platform that shapes the destiny of a nation and a people. Many of you take the floor of Parliament for granted. You don't show up. You've not even tried to say anything. You're just there at the tea place. Yeah? Nazunguka hapo tu, nangedi hapo, na fitina. Please, take the floor of Parliament seriously. And I know, because I've been in Parliament, and it's a very difficult platform. You stand there and words evaporate, and you don't know what to say. And you say two things, Kiingereza inaharibika kidogo, unateleza namna hii, mtu anasema point of order, unachanganyikiwa, unaketi chini. Now, a friend of mine was talking to me yesterday, a lady from Ethiopia. She's supporting our plan on UHC. And she told me, Mr. President, I know you have a plan on UHC. I advise you, don't make perfect become the enemy of the good. Perfect should never become the enemy of the good. Don't wait until you are perfect. Yeah? Let me put it in a different way. If you take a risk, you might fail. If you don't take a risk, you will surely fail. Right? Because you will not move. Are we together? So, whether it is on that floor of Parliament, whether it is on any other fora, take a risk. Don't make it perfect. Keep trying. You will get it there one day. So, keep at it. I want to encourage you. Keep at it. As members of Parliament, and I say this to many, especially members of my team, or my party for that matter. I know they have heard this from me many times. Take your job seriously. You have 3 responsibilities as an elected member: to represent your constituents, to legislate in Parliament, and to oversight public resources. Many members of Parliament don't take their job of representation seriously. Understand the issues. Understand government programs. I don't have time, but I really want to talk to you guys. Now, and I'm saying this out of experience. Understand government programs in your constituency. Don't go to a meeting without knowing what you're going to say in your constituency. Umesimama hapo, umeenda tu kwa mkutano, unasimama hapo, unaongea kidogo hapa, mtu anasema unga. Unaanza kusema, bei ya unga imepanda. Mwingine anasema hapo sijui nini. Then you come out of there, you don't know what you wanted to say. have a plan, understand how many teachers have been hired by government in your constituency. Yeah? For example, last year, we hired 56,000 teachers. Medu, do you know how many teachers we hired in Nyandarua? You should know, right? And you should be able to stand in a platform and say, good people, ever since I became senator of Nyandarua, we have hired 2,000 teachers. I mean, people will then say, okay, you know, members of parliament, how many teachers did we hire in your constituency? Do you know? Many of you don't. We have data on electrification, constituency by constituency. How many members of parliament have gone to the Ministry of Energy to find out my constituency, what is the number of, what is the amount of money allocated? When you hear me come to any county, you hear me speak numbers. It is because I take my job seriously. I read. I take time. You know, I look for information. Lakini wewe unasimama tu unaenda hapo, sisi serikali imetubagua sana. Tumekwisha. We are finished. Sasa wewe, you are the leader. And leadership, the merchandise of leadership is hope. If you start selling desperation, you are the wrong person. Nasikia mheshimiwa. So I really want to have a conversation with you so that we can help each other. Because this experience some of us have gathered over the years, we cannot package it into, we cannot sell it in a kiosk. We can only help mentor other leaders to be better than us, and so that we can have a greater nation than we do, with greater leaders in the future. Let me also say that when you have your job of representation, find out, get as much information as you can. Know what is happening, read, get data, so that when you speak authoritatively. I have heard Mukunji here say, the chair, that when I travel abroad, I should go with some of you. That is very good. Pigeni makofi huyu mjamaa. Lakini sasa ujaondoka kwa constituency yako, ujaenda the next constituency, na unataka kwenda ng'ambo. Unataka kwenda kufanya nini ng'ambo? Si uanze kwanza wewe kama Mukunji ni kuone Bungoma. Umeenda kuona Bungoma, hii ndio vile, this is Bungoma. Haya, utoke hapo uende Vanga. Let me give you my personal experience. Is Kiborek here? Kiborek, there is a day you send me a copy. I don't know who. Somebody sent me a copy. It is you. So in Mogotio, in 1996, I had already gone there to sign a visitor's book. Mogotio from Eldoret is very far. Tunaelewana? So, understand your country. Friends, I am very happy that you have said it's cross-cutting. I want to see Medu. I want to see all these younger people, Wewe Kimayo. I want to see Karemba. I want to see this young man, Silvanas. Understand your country. That is how you can legislate better. That is how you're going to know if we are passing the sugar bill, if we are passing the coffee bill. If you have never been to a coffee growing area, What meaningful contribution can you make in parliament? Tutakuwa tunaongea tu hewa. I encourage you, and I am saying this from experience. I remember I went to Vanga. I wish Chief Oromodo was here, the MP from that corner. I went to Vanga in 1998. I was member of parliament for Eldoret North. I met a gentleman there called Ngare. I still have his phone number today. Nikimpigia anachukua. You know, that's how you build a network. You know? Si mumesema ati tuko na marais hapa? Ama mulisema namna gani? Wako? Network. Weka network. Anza kupanga network. Mnanielewa? When you get a chance on the floor of parliament to legislate on matters that affect our country, use that platform to make our country better. The quality of legislation is going to be determined to a great extent by what government does, but it will be influenced by how parliament executes and make sure the legislation is in place. So, my friends, this evening is short. I just wanted to give you some snippets of what I think you should do. When I say leadership is serious business and it determines the destiny of nations, I will give you two examples. Last year, we made a decision that we are going to change the funding structure. Right? Last year. And we said, it is not tenable. You know, we must be honest with ourselves. We said that we were going to pay 80% for every student who goes to university. We could not afford it. So for almost 15 years, we knew we could not do it, but the problem is that nobody wanted to make the decision to say, let us change it. So tukaendelea, you know, we are only giving 40% of the money, we are promised 80%. So bills in a build-up kwa universities started to pay lecturers half salary, accumulated debts. They now have debts of like 60 billion. So last year, I made the decision and said, we are going to change the funding structure. Parliament, of course, was very hostile, said, no, look at this guy. He has introduced fees in the university. Namna. Anyway, let me give you the good news. Last week, I was with 41 vice-chancellors from our universities. Because we changed the funding model and we said, scholarship is not going to be available automatic. You're going to apply. Do you know what happened? 20% of the students, 18,000 students last year, did not apply for any scholarship. Their parents paid without asking government to support. And these are students we were imposing scholarships on, and yet their parents could afford. So what has that done? It has released more money for us to take care of vulnerable students. But when it was in parliament, I could see many members of parliament were going to piga kelele sana. Let me give you another example. Last year, we made a decision. We brought it to parliament. Makelele ilikuwa mingi. Tukasema, we are putting a levy so that we don't have to import clinker, we don't have to import cement, we don't have to import furniture, we don't have to import, there was a fourth thing there. So, steel, steel. Then industry went up and said, no, you see. Okay? So this year, we had a conversation with industry, but we stood our ground because we said, if we have sufficient manufacturing capacity locally, if we have manufacturing capacity for steel, for cement, for clinker, for furniture locally, why do we have to import? And if you want to import because you feel like importing, pay a levy. Do you know what happened this year? The same Kenya Association of Manufacturers, and they were sitting with me yesterday, they were complaining about the levy of 17.5%. So we told them, okay, let us reduce it to 10. Yesterday, they came back to me and told me, no, Mr. President, let's give it a 17. What has happened? You know, you are right, actually. We have decided to invest in local manufacture. If you remove this levy, those imports are going to destroy our investment. Mnanielewa? When we were making the decision last year, it was not popular, it was not right, people were making noise. Today, the same people who are making noise at us are telling us, keep the levy because we have done the right thing. We have invested. More companies in Kenya are now manufacturing cement, they are now manufacturing clinker, and they are now manufacturing steel. Why am I telling you this? I am telling you this, that leadership is not always about taking the popular decisions. It is about taking the right decisions always. I will give you one final thing so that I let you go. You remember last year we came up with a fertilizer subsidy program. And many of you who come from farming areas, you know DAP has been our fertilizer for the last 30 years. Everybody believes DAP is the only fertilizer. So last year, because as a farmer myself, I know DAP is the wrong fertilizer because it has made our soils acidic. And I stopped using fertilizer DAP almost 5 years ago because it is wrong. But then last year, when we made the decision, Ministry of Agriculture came and told me that, you know, Mr. President, we must bring fertilizer if the farmers have to buy. Otherwise, the farmers will rebel, they will not buy. The farmers have insisted it must be DAP. I told them, we are not going to buy DAP. We are going to buy NPK that is customized for our soils, that is customized for our crops, because science that is available at the Ministry of Agriculture gives us the specifications for regions, for crops. We are going to go as per the scientific specifications. Forget about the DAP. Simuliana wakulima wakienda kupiga kelele. Walipiga kelele huko. Serikali imetuletea fertilizer hatujui. Wamekataa kutuletea DAP, hatutaki, we have rejected. Finally, because it was subsidized, the farmers bought the fertilizer. 6 months into the story, all the farmers were there taking selfies with maize. Oh, the maize is very nice. The same farmers who are telling us we've given them the wrong stuff. So, I want to request KYPA across party lines to work with us to change this country. We can do it. We can do it if we make the right decisions. Because of time, I will leave it there for tonight. Lakini mimi niko na maneno. Niko na maneno. Sasa, nataka mjipange tukutane. Ndio tuongee. Because I am very passionate about the future of Kenya, and we must make the right decisions. We must make the right decisions because this country, our transformation has been delayed for far too long. We can turn around this country in record time. And I know you as young people, you should be able to see where we want to go, and we should be able, across party lines, to see how we can change our country. This evening, I will be going to Italy for the meeting of the G7. Kenya is not a member of the G7, but we've been invited, 2 presidents from Africa. And because we are discussing 2 very fundamental subjects, artificial intelligence and climate change. Both subjects have a huge bearing on young people. And the president of UAE will be in that meeting because between UAE, Kenya, Microsoft, we are setting up the largest data center in Africa of $1 billion in Naivasha, and it will be driven by AI. That is the negotiations we had in America when I was there. And that is the future. And I'm very happy, I was very happy to hear here that members of KYPA are already figuring out the digital space and the artificial intelligence space. This morning, I got a brief from the envoy that I have appointed on artificial intelligence, Mr. Thigo from Kenya, because we cannot afford to be left behind again as a country or as a region. We must be on the table as we discuss regulations, legislation that is going to manage AI going into the future. So I hope again we will find another opportunity to sit down and have this conversation. Otherwise, I wish you well. You have my support. I am very, very proud of the young people in my administration. I am very proud. And the young people in our party have not let us down. If I were to choose, I will choose them again. Right from Kimani Ichung'wah here, a very young person, very resourceful, through to Aaron Cheriot there, through to all the chairmen, from Kimani Kuria of Molo. He's doing a fantastic job. Sometimes I have to straighten him. I remember maybe about 3 years ago, I had to call him to my home in Sugoi. I told him, kuja uketi hapa. And I sat him down and gave him some, father-son chat for about 2 hours. Because I could see potential in him, lakini kidogo alikuwa anateleza. All these young people, I have always called them. I remember one time, Gasheri sent me a message. Remember? She told me, Mr. President, this position, I am sorry, I have to differ with you on this one. Because the ground is hot. Nikamtumia message ya Gasheri, nikamwambia Gasheri, listen. If your principles, because she said, as a matter of principle, I told her, if your principles are at variance with your party, you damn your principles, you support your party. That is the rule. And I'm very proud that she did. Yeah? So all these, slowly by slowly, we will get better leaders out of all you guys. I remember I have had to sit down with Kimani Ichung'wah. And I like Kimani Ichung'wah because he listens. And I've had to tell him, this is how to say it. Don't say it this way. It means the same thing, but it has different connotation if you say it this way. I've had to call Ndindi Nyoro, sit him down and tell him, look, usisimame hapo unasema sisi wa Kikuyu. Nikamwambia no. Hiyo lugha wacha. If you must say, sema sisi watu ya Central Province. You know, it's the same thing, but it is softer. Huh? Just the same way, I cannot say sisi wa Kalenjin. You know, sisi watu ya Rift Valley, namna hii, you know. So, you know, and it's just figure of speech so that you don't send a connotation of the wrong things. You wanted to pass a message, but you end up passing the wrong message. So, namna hiyo. And I have called many of these people, and these young people. Waambia hapana, msipeseme hivi, namna hii, namna hii. So, this mentorship is real. So, sometimes many of you people think that we are talking about mentorship in space. And it is about small things that eventually makes leaders better people. Don't shy from making mistakes. You will make mistakes here. That's why I was saying earlier, perfect should not be the enemy of good. You know, as you try to be perfect, you will make mistakes, but that is the journey towards being good and finally being perfect, if at all there is anything like that. Sawa sawa. So, and sometimes I call some of you just to tell you, look, hapo umepitisha kidogo. Usifanye namna hiyo. Hata huyo soro nimempigia nikamwambia hapana. So, I take time because I really want the best for Kenya, and I want the best for all of us. And it is the thing that costs me nothing, but it benefits other leaders more. So, tuendelee namna hiyo, tutazidi na kushirikiana. Even this Sakaja, I have called him and sat him down. True? And told him, no, unapita, hii hapana. You cannot do this. You must stay like this. And it is not because you want to impose your opinion on other people. It's just because you mean well for them and you want them to be better people. And none of these young people have taken any offense, including Kasheri. Did you take up offense, Kasheri? So all this, they take it positively that somebody actually is assisting them to look at things from a different perspective. Otherwise, asanteni sana. You have asked me for support, Mkunji. So what I'm going to do, I know you have said, your organization, that Goodman CEO said, that you will need like 500 million over the next 5 years. We are going to look for 100 million for you over 5 years, 20 million shillings every year. Nasikia wewe Mkunji? 20 million shillings every year, but it must be accounted for. Nasikia wewe? Ulisikia mambo ni mangapi? So, I will work out something with the speaker so that we facilitate you as you build synergy around young people so that we can make better leaders for our nation tomorrow. We will all be the better. This country will ultimately be the winner if we have better leaders, better than us, tomorrow. The days when people like me would feel threatened by young people are gone. You are our sons, you are our daughters, and we want to assist you. So even when we correct you kidogo, it is not because we want anything. We just want you to be better people. And we are going to support you. Mnanisikia? So, so we will do that, Mkunji. We will arrange so that we assist this organization. You must be responsible, you must be accountable, you must lead from the front, and you must strive to be better than us. That's really the standard. The standard is to be better than us. That is the standard. And finally, I have requested for a meeting. I want to sit down and I want you to ask me some questions so that I can answer and assist you. How do you do this? How do you do that? To the extent that I can from my personal experience and from what I have seen around, I would really want to do that for all of you from different constituencies, from different parties, so that we can truly have a better country. Finally, when I was in America, I asked for an appointment with President Barack Obama. And I was just asking him for one thing. I'm an alumni of Nairobi University. And I told Barack Obama, your father was an alumni of Nairobi University. I requested him to assist us set up a school in the fashion of Kennedy School of Leadership in Harvard. But this time, to be a school of leadership in Nairobi University, and I asked him, let us call it Barack Obama School of Leadership in Nairobi University. And Barack Obama agreed, and he will come here next year so that we can, and he has undertaken that he's going to mobilize support for a sustainable school of leadership, because leadership is serious, and we want you guys to be better than us, go read, go learn about leadership so that we can have better leaders tomorrow. I agree with the DP sometimes when you can accumulate a lot of it, and then when we can say prior learning, you can be given, nowadays you can get a certificate. But those of you who are younger, you can go to school. You don't have to wait for long and learn something, and we can all benefit from this. Sometimes we take for granted, we take leadership for granted, and we fail to recognize that there is some learning, there is some, something people can learn about leadership and can help them to be better leaders. Thank you very much. I wish you well.